yesterday, at the end of the day, we chose to not do the final teach of the day. We had had enough sitting and talking, but what we decided as a hosting team is that it's actually one of the foundational forms we work with. It's an inescapable form. Does anyone recognize this form? Christmas tree. Not a Christmas tree. This is the shape of a conversation. Did you know a conversation had a shape?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, that's what it is. I've known that all along.
I just didn't recognize it. I'm used to seeing it
From
from
the
the
other side. Yeah, I understand. So this for me was one of those aha moments when I first learned this pattern, because it allows me to stay with this word we keep using, emergence, that uncomfortable, unknowing, wait until the magic arises piece. Once you understand this form, it helps you to be less fearful in that rocky place in the conversation before the new arises. So I want to walk you through the language, how we talk about this form, and then I'm going to invite you in to kind of participate with this form. We've only got a short time, so I'm going to try and be brief. Every conversation you have, even if it's about where do you want to go to lunch today, starts with a purpose, right? My purpose is, I'm hungry. Where do you want to go to lunch today? And it ends with a clear goal. We've made a decision about where to go to lunch. It could be a whole project that starts with a clear purpose, that says, we really need to work on discovering what our core values of our organization are. Okay, what are we going to do to make that happen? It begins here, and at the end, hopefully, the harvest, the outcome, is that you have surfaced what your core values are and named them and clarified them. So any conversation, large or small, any project has this form, and they link together multiple shapes like this. We're going to work just with this one. We like to call it, we in the art of hosting like to call it the breath, because it opens like a breath. Breathe in, pause for a moment, and then you breathe out on the other end. This opening, where we take in air, or we take in information from everyone who's part of the conversation, we take in information from the system and everything we need to know in order to even begin exploring what might be possible. We call this phase of that divergence, okay? In this phase, we're opening up, we're diverging from our point of entry, gathering as much information as we can, seeing what everybody brings to the table. This is what we have to work with. The other end of the conversation, I'm going to jump past this middle part. Hide that, it's not happening yet. If you have a divergence, you need to have a convergence. Okay? Where it converges back into closing, and you have an action or a decision or the next phase of the project where it opens again. Okay? So we open with divergence, we close with convergence. This piece in the middle that looks really rough and jagged is the phase that we call emergence. Not emergency, but sometimes it feels like one. And it is not quite as smooth as the opening phase or the closing phase, right? It's a little more jagged. It's a little less unknown which way the path is going to go. This phase of any project, it's almost a joke, but it's not a joke. We call it the groan zone. Because sometimes when you're trying to find an answer or solution and you get a little weary of being in that space, everyone's kind of groaning, oh, we're never going to find our way through this. And it feels like a big groan, it does work. So when you link this back to, is the issue we're dealing with simple, complicated, complex? Do you remember that, the Kinevin framework? You could say say that in a simple situation, we open the conversation, we find out what do we know, those people sitting here at this meeting, what do we know? We get to here, we find out, okay, these are the things we know. We just need to do it. We just need to take an action and do it. And we might converge right here and be done with it. We don't have to go through the grown zone, it's simple, right? So there is no emergence. We've only discovered what we already know and made a decision to move on. And that's what people like to do. You just want to make a decision and move on and get to action.
What's our policy?
What's our policy on that?
Do it.
Do it. Exactly. So very often, this breath opens and closes, and you're done. And people feel like, why did we have a meeting? What was that for? Right? Like, that was a waste of time, because you just told us to do that. So if you go a little bit farther into emergence, and you get a little bit more information, you might find out, okay, this is what everyone in the meeting here, this is what we know. We've brought all this to the meeting, the information we have. We might find out what we don't know. Ah, okay, we can't solve that. We need an expert. We need some from the outside to give us information to solve that. And we might make a decision here to close this and say, okay, the decision is we get some expert advice, which is perfect if we're in a complicated domain, right? We bring in expert information, we close here. It doesn't take a whole lot of emergence, just enough to find out what don't we know that someone else is going to have to bring to us. If we're in a complex situation, we have to go a little bit farther into this uncomfortable water of the grown zone. We know what we know. Now we know what we don't know. We stay a little bit longer because no expert's going to solve this. It's too complex. Until over here we find out, oh, wait a minute, we didn't even know we knew that. Yes, something new has emerged because we've managed to stay in it long enough for your intelligence and yours and yours and yours to mix together, and instead of being flour and water and oil and sugar, now it's bread. Right? You can't have your flour back. It's turned into something utterly new that nobody brought into the room. Right? It's changed and something new has emerged. And that's emergence. And so now we got to the point of, oh, we didn't even know we knew that, and there's new energy and there's a new way forward. And you converge here. And if it's a long-term project where you get to the point of, we don't even know what we don't know, it's likely you don't have enough of the system in the room. You've left somebody out. A simple example is often when we work on projects for young people, like troubled teenagers. We get all the experts in the room, and we think, oh, we're doing really great, we have everybody here. There's no teenagers in the room. You can't know the perspective of the troubled teenager unless you ask them. But that's not our pattern. We solve for them. And this is a story that comes from one of our mates, one of our practitioner friends, Tim Mary in Nova Scotia. And his motto is, if it's about them, don't do it without them. And this is one of his learnings. And so they had to find out, they had to stop, close converge this, and open another one with more people in the conversation in order to find out new solutions to the challenges they were facing. Okay? So there are ways of being that each of us has that determine where you're most comfortable in a process like this. Some of us love this exploratory, let's talk more, let's find out more, let's explore more. We love this is fun. And we open it up so far, it's hard to get your arms around all the information you bring in, right? And you just want to play in that because it's interesting and new, and I'll take this training and this one and this one and this one, I'll just keep gathering. Because that's scary. To actually step into, now what are we going to do with all of this in the unknown? Some people love this. Ooh, I love this challenge, this not knowing, it's a mystery, we're solving it, we're creating. Some people are super comfortable in this emergence zone. People are comfortable with chaos. People are comfortable with complexity. This is like a sandbox. We really dig this space. Most people, and that's my assumption, disclaimer, like this end of the pattern. Ah, great, we know what we're gonna do, let's get on it, let's get to action. What's the action plan, what's the to-do list, how are we gonna do it, bum, 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 what are the KPIs, the metrics, and we close it off and we know what we're doing. We're bringing it back into an ordered system, we know what to do now, thank God. Right, and you feel this relief. Some people are super comfortable here. So the invitation, and I think what we'll do is split right down this board. If you're on this side of the board, I'll invite you in first. I want you to just step into this cool thing. Where your place of most natural functioning is. Where are you most comfortable? As things are open, exploring, as it gets sticky and heated, or over here where we finally find the solution and we get to action. Where are you most comfortable? So everyone on this side, step in wherever you find your comfort zone. Divergence is when we start the conversation and we begin to open it and explore all the everything we know is possible.
I was like, people going?
You should have told me earlier.
Well, that's a pretty good start. You guys would make a good project team. It's good, right? So, those of you here in the opening divergent phase, why did you choose to stand here? What is it you're comfortable with on this end?
There's a moment to breathe. I mean, in conversation,
Yeah.
usually when we do group discussion,
Yeah.
we breathe first.
We breathe first, and you like the breathing part.
Yeah, and the breathing part will allow us to explore.
Okay.
You breathe out
Great.
also?
Yeah.
You just hold your breath, you hold it in, and you breathe out.
And we are a dreamer.
Ah. Is this it? We're dreamers. We're dreaming, it's fantasy. And why is this comfortable for you?
Oh well, I could see that seems like good at starting something,
You're good at
not good at finishing something.
great. I'm good at starting things, I'm not so good at ending things. Oh, I have that story too. Great initiator. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the middle. What does it feel like to stand in the middle? Why did you choose this? You've grown something. You've been here all your life, might as well love it.
Learn the skills.
I was gonna say, and you have spent your life developing the personal practices to stand
To stand
there.
there. To stand there.
Really,
Yeah, it takes that, doesn't it? Yeah. What?
Just-
Can I say more?
that is the place where all the new ideas come and everything is flowing. Everyone brainstorm and a lot of new things come and a lot of things haven't happened before, haven't seen before. That's come up.
And you like that. You like that new as it finally shows itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Others?
I love
It's challenging.
I born in chaos.
You were born in chaos.
I always love chaos. Like this, I think this is a place that where I can find many things about myself, exploring myself in this way.
Exploring your own self and how you.
How to deal with it.
Great. Any more?
I choose this because if I have to choose either this or this or this, and then I prefer this because I'm not very good at starting things, and so because when you start, you need to persuade other people to convince them to join you during the process. So it's hard for me. And so for this position, it is the ending thing, so there will be lots of things to do. So I prefer this place.
Okay.
New things.
I mean, as an aspect of it also is that that's a very critical zone, and I feel it's a zone that requires a lot of attention. Because it's that's where things die, and that's where they can
That's
be
correct.
kept alive.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been sitting there also.
Nice. Things die here and new things are born here. This is a life cycle. Let's come to this end on convergence. What is it that made you want to stand here in convergence? What is it you like about this?
A good finish for me is a good way to start something new. So a lot of things start really well, and then they run out of budget by the end or something, and then because of that, the final result becomes shaky, and people don't want to continue with it.
Yeah.
Want to take it and bring it further anymore. So somebody's got to be here and like make sure everything is done well at the end.
So it
Somebody's got to
matters to
close the
you.
cafe so that the next morning it's gonna start well.
Nice, nice. So it matters to you to end, close well.
Right.
Nice. What else?
I like divergence and convergence equally. I just don't like the middle. Like I like thinking about new ideas. It's so exciting, and I like actually putting the things. I'm not very comfortable with chaos.
Yeah, the heat of the oven gets a little much for you? Okay. Don't want to be cake, I want to be on the side. Great. So do you see the difference? And so I'll invite you to step back to that side, and you have the experience on this side. Stand in this breath where you are most comfortable. Your most natural way of being is to stand where? Opening. Obviously. Wherever you want.